They say when a bright star falls, it doesn't just disappear. It crashes, taking pieces of people with it. This isn't just a story about Benjamin. It's a warning, a heartbreak, a reminder of how quickly things can change. He was brilliant, destined for greatness, but the street doesn't care how smart you are. And the devil is always waiting, especially when your hands are idle. They say the devil makes work for idle hands, and I saw it happen with my own eyes. It still haunts me. My name is Toby, and this is not just a story, it's a memory, one I carry in my heart every single day. It's the story of how I lost my childhood friend, Benjamin, to the streets. I still wonder if anything I did or didn't do might have made a difference. Benjamin was one of a kind. I met him when we were about 6 years old. His family had just moved into the third flat on our street. He was shy at first, but once we got talking, I knew we'd be friends for life. What brought us together was our love for drawing and building small things. While I made toy cars with milk tins, Benjamin built full houses with matchsticks and glue. He was smart, too smart for his age. From primary school through JSS 3, we were the definition of best friends. By the time we got to SS1, Benjamin had become the pride of our school. He was always top of the class, especially in maths and science. Our teacher loved him. They used him as an example, and our classmates admired him. Even our principal knew his name. You know that one student everyone assumed will become a doctor or engineer, right? That was Benjamin, and he believed it too. He was the first person I ever studied with. We would sit cross-legged on the floor in my mother's sitting room, scribbling on old notebooks, taking turns, quizzing each other. Benjamin always understood things faster. Whenever I struggled with long division or chemical equations, he would explain it so simply, with patience. He once said, "One day, I'll wear that white coat and work in the hospital. People will see me and say, 'That's Dr. Benjamin from our street,' and we would both laugh." But getting to the end of SS1, something began to shift. It was gradual at first. Benjamin still did his assignments, but with less passion. He would yawn during class, draw random things in the corner of his notebooks. When I asked him, he shrugged and said, "I am tired. Every time book. What has book done for you?" At first, I laughed. I thought he was just going through a phase. Maybe it was stress or boredom. But then he started missing school. First once a week, then more. He began hanging around a group of older boys. Boys who didn't go to school. They wore flashy clothes, always had money, and talked loud on the street like they owned it. One of them drove a red Camry and had dyed hair. The first time I saw Benjamin with them, I felt cold. It was a Sunday afternoon. I was on my way to buy bread when I saw him leaning against the car, wearing dark shades and a fake gold chain. He was laughing at something one of the boys said. A cigarette between his fingers. I froze. "Benjamin," I called. He looked at me, smirked, and nodded slightly. "How are you?" That was all. No explanation, no catching up. I walked home with my heart in my stomach. His parents tried everything. I remember the night his mother came to our house. She was crying, kneeling before my mom. "Please, tell your son to talk to Benjamin. He listens to him." We don't know what else to do. My mom looked at me with those eyes that say, "You have to try." So I went to him. I found him behind a store, sitting on a plastic chair, puffing smoke. "Benjamin," I said, "what's going on with you?" "This isn't you." He chuckled and asked me, "Who are you?" "My father." "Please, leave me alone. I am living my best life. Book doesn't pay anymore. I want to make money, real money." Then I asked, "What about your dream of becoming a doctor?" He looked away. "That dream has expired," he said. "My own now is to cruise life." That day broke something in me. I tried again the next week and the week after, but he kept pushing me away. Slowly, our friendship died. I stayed focused on my school. My parents didn't have much, but they made sure I had what I needed. I was preparing for my final exams when it happened. It was a Friday night in April. The air was hot, and NEPA had taken light as usual. I was reading with my rechargeable lamp when the gunshot started. Shots burst at first, then a long exchange. My mom rushed to lock the front door. My dad peeped through the curtain. "It's near the warehouse," he whispered. "God help those boys." The warehouse, everyone knew what happened there. Drugs, stolen phones, shady deals. The police had raided it once, but the boys returned. I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking, "Please God, let Benjamin not be there." But he was. By morning, the news had spread. 4 boys were killed. One of them was Benjamin. I ran to his house. The gate was wide open. People filled the compound. His mother was on the floor, rolling, crying, her wrapper undone. My son, my only son. Ah, God, why? His father sat on a stool, staring at nothing. I had never seen a man looking that empty. They had identified him by his shirt. He had 2 gunshot wounds. He wasn't carrying any weapon. They said, just caught in the crossfire, but that didn't change anything. He was gone. The funeral was quiet, too quiet. No classmates, no teachers, just family and a few neighbors. I stood at the edge, staring at the wooden coffin as they lowered it. I kept thinking, that could have been me. If I had followed him, if I had given up too. The irony. That same week, his cousin Emmanuel got admission into the university. Emmanuel, who used to come last in class, who people mocked, he got 3 scholarships. I remember my mom shaking her head, saying, see life. The one we thought was lost is rising, and the one we praised has fallen. Sometimes I still hear Benjamin's voice. Sometimes I dream of us sitting together again. Him in that white coat, laughing, stethoscopes around his neck. But then I woke up. He had potential. So much of it. But potential without direction is like a car without a steering wheel. He had idle eyes, and the devil filled them. There are so many young boys like Benjamin, bright, gifted, but bored, restless, waiting for someone to notice. And when no one does, the street does. The street welcomes them with fake gold, fast money, and fast end. If you have someone drifting, don't wait. Call them, visit them, drag them back if you have to, because you might not get another chance. I walk past his house sometimes. It's quiet now. His mother became sick. His father sold his motorbike. The gate is always closed. The dream they had for their only son lies buried 6 feet under. Benjamin was a star. He burned bright, but he burned out too fast. I shared this story because maybe, just maybe some mother won't have to wail on the ground. Maybe some friends will speak up. Because truly, when hands are idle, the devil is never far. And Benjamin, he didn't deserve that end. None of them do. Weeks after Benjamin's burial, it felt strange. For the first time since we were kids, I walked to school alone. The road past the junction where we used to stop to buy biscuits and juice felt empty. The kiosk owner still asked after him for a while. When I told her, she just sighed, muttering another wasted light. People moved on, the way they always do, but I couldn't. I found myself thinking about all the little moments we've shared. Like the time we got locked in the classroom for hiding during cleaning hour. Or how he once climbed the mango tree outside Mr. James' house and fell, scraping his entire arm, but still laughed through the pain. And then I'd think of the last time I saw him. The cigarettes, the smirk, the way he said, "I am living my life." That phrase haunted me, because in chasing his life, he lost it. What no one talks about is what happens after the burial. After the visitors stop coming, after the tears dry on the floor, we are just left with the silence and the what ifs. One evening, I went to see his cousin Emmanuel. He had returned from university for the first semester break, and I found him sitting on the balcony reading a medical textbook. The irony wasn't lost on me. think he would have made it? I asked. Imane didn't look up. He just said he had more brains than all of us combined. He just got tired of waiting. I nodded slowly. That was it. Wasn't it? He got tired of waiting for things to change. Tired of struggling. Tired of hoping. The boys he joined, they offered instant answers. Emmanuel closed his book and looked at me, then said, "Sometimes I wonder if I wouldn't have turned out like him if my dad hadn't made me repeat JSS 3. That shame made me wake up. But Benjamin, nobody ever forced him to fail. He was always ahead. Maybe that was the problem." I thought about that a lot after. How sometimes the gifted ones get ignored because everyone assumes they are fine. I started volunteering at a community center 2 streets away, just a few hours on Saturdays, helping with homework, reading sessions, football drills. One of the boys there, David, reminded me so much of Benjamin. Same spark in his eyes, same stubbornness. One day, I caught him sneaking out early. "Where are you going?" I asked. He shrugged. "My guys are calling me. I want to go and arrange." "Arrange what?" I said. He didn't answer. I pulled him aside and told him Benjamin's story. Not the sugar-coated version. The real one. The dreams. The decline. The gunshots. He didn't say much. Just stared at me and said, "Is that a real story?" Then I said to him, "It's as real as this ground we are standing on." He came back the next Saturday and the next. He still had his wild moments, but he kept showing up. That was all I could ask. And that's why I'm sharing this now. Benjamin's story doesn't have a happy ending, but maybe someone else can. Maybe another boy will see himself in these words and take a different turn. Maybe a teacher, a brother, a friend, a parent. Someone will decide not to give up too soon. People always say he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I think the truth is deeper. Sometimes he was in the right place with the wrong guidance, or no guidance at all. We've made the street too loud, too tempting, too quick to reward the shortcuts, and the silence in our homes. Our society, it's deafening. The devil doesn't need much, just a little boredom, a little silence, a little neglect, and before you know it, he's at the table. I wish I could go back, maybe sit with Benjamin more, maybe not give up after the third try, maybe tell his parents not to scold but to listen. But regrets don't build the future, action does. So today, I mentor, I speak, I show up, and I carry Benjamin's memory like a badge, not of shame, but of reminder, of purpose. Because sometimes, when I sit alone, I still whisper his name, and I imagine an alternate ending. Here Benjamin did wear that white coat. Here his mother boasted about him in the market. When he walked into the hospital, stethoscope swinging, that big smile on his face. But that's not what happened. What happened is why I tell the story. So if you are listening, really listening, and you know someone on the edge, please don't wait. Be the interruption. Be the one who drags them back. Because truly, when their hands are idle, the devil doesn't wait. But neither should we.
Much for watching this video. Please do well to like, share and comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.